Hello,
Awkward pause.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Pure Faith Podcast, a podcast where we discuss all things Bible. My name's Michelle. Over here is my brother Mitchell.
Hi.
If you haven't done so already, we ask that you like this video, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit the notification icon to be notified when new episodes are released.
Do any announcements today?
Any announcements today? What kind of announcement?
I don't know. You always seem to have some sort of announcement to make.
I can tell all of you viewers who or listeners that if we didn't tell you already that we are recording on different days due to my schedule. So the last episode was recorded on a Wednesday, and today is Monday. So I came walking in here. I was being blown in by the wind. As I was walking down the sidewalk, Mom helps to decorate the church, and she puts flowers up and she hangs some outside. Well, her flower was blowing down the sidewalk, so I grabbed that quick. I put it back in, and then so today's Monday, and it's very windy outside, so that's why Mitchell doesn't have the same windblown look as I do, but I've got a windblown look.
It's sticking up a little bit.
Is it?
Yeah.
And we were able to gather with family. It would have been just yesterday, but Sunday we were able to gather with Dad's brothers and sisters and all of our cousins and whoever can make it out at the barn. And we had a beautiful day. We really did. And for all those who made it,
Really good turnout.
We did. We did. I think Mom said we had 110 people maybe there yesterday, including all the kids. There were a few cousins that couldn't make it and their kids that didn't, that weren't able to make it. And we missed those who weren't there. But boy, it was so nice to talk to the ones that we haven't seen in a while. So even the ones that live right here in town. I mean, there's some of them that live here in town, and just because of different ages of kids and lifestyles and jobs, we don't see everybody. So, heck, I don't even see Matt unless he comes to church on Sunday. But if he misses church, I won't see him until he comes again usually. So, like I said, our schedules are a little different, but it was a beautiful day, and I think everybody enjoyed themselves. So,
I think so.
Yeah. And we had plenty of food. Woo!
A lot of food.
Oh my gosh.
It was good though.
It was good food.
Mom did most of the cooking.
She did. Man, her ham was really good.
Oh, I didn't try the ham.
Oh my gosh, how can you not try her ham?
Oh, there's so much other stuff to eat.
Oh my gosh. We had chicken we brought in from an outside source, but Mom always makes a really good ham. So I actually had that for dinner last night too. It was so good. But
I don't know if we got any leftovers.
You didn't get any leftovers?
I don't know.
I actually think Paige was there when Mom was giving leftovers, but I don't know. Well, if you don't have it yet, you'll probably get them because we had some chicken left over and Mom diced it all up today and vacuum sealed it for like chicken wraps, or I told her I put it in tortilla soup, and we can use it for all different kinds of things. So she did. She vacuum sealed it up and she just dropped off a couple of packs to me. So she said she had to go out to the barn, so you'll probably get some.
Okay.
So anyhow, see, we come here to discuss this.
Again, like you were saying, different schedules.
Yeah, different schedules. We just saw each other yesterday, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
But again, I was preoccupied.
And I had his boys for a little while yesterday, and they were supposed to nap. I took them at nap time. None of them.
Really? No wonder they were Haynes last night.
None of them.
We just assumed it was because of time change.
No. Eli, I told Paige that they didn't nap. Oh. Eli fell asleep in the vehicle on the way to Versailles, and Zeke he couldn't get his coat off in the back seat. He was just crying and carrying on, and because you moved the strollers, he couldn't get his seatbelt buckled. He was having a heck of, and I thought, oh my gosh, he's gonna fall right to sleep. And then of course we all know Ephraim was tired. No. Eli dozed off and he was right up, and we went to the house and we watched the Minions movie.
Were they at least good?
Yeah, they were pretty good. Okay. Yeah, we watched the movie and had snacks, and we turned the lights out, and I thought maybe they might doze off during movie time. No, they love Minions. I actually think Eli is a Minion.
He might be.
Yeah.
He talks like a Minion.
Yeah, he acts like a Minion. So cute story, real quick. So we had stickers and they did maps too before we did minions. So they were making their treasure maps, and I had 2 things of stickers, but they, you could tear them apart to make 2 different sets. And so Zeke ripped them apart and gave some to Eli, and Eli went. And I was looking at him, and Zeke goes, he means that I'm going to get in trouble because I tore these apart. I said, oh, no, he's not going to be in trouble. I had no idea what he was talking about. But Zeke knew exactly, like, he knew sign language. Like, he was like, oh, he thinks I'm going to get, this means he's going to get in trouble. And I was like, oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So
he has his own sign language.
But then
it's not American sign language.
No, but Daniel's like, they should really get him started on sign language. He can make some good money one day. I'm like, he is 2. He is 3. No, he is 2. He's gonna be 3.
It's gonna be
soon. 3. Yeah, but yeah, it was funny.
Yeah. He doesn't do American sign language.
He does
Elijah sign language.
It was so funny. Like, okay, I don't know.
Yeah, he does that a lot.
So, but yeah, they were very good. They had their snacks and we headed back home. So, yeah, good day.
Yeah.
So, other than that, anything else? Anything in your world?
We got all kinds of stuff going on in my world.
Yeah, you do. Lots of prayers for Mitchell and his world, right? So,
but
you gonna yawn?
No.
Time change get you?
I could. Well, I went in early today.
Oh, did you?
Worked almost 12 hours today.
Oh my yikes! Yeah, because I went out to the house at 8:30 and you weren't there, or 8:20 or whatever, and you weren't there.
I already had a couple hours in by then.
Oh my! Making up your time for your appointments?
No, usually Monday and Tuesday I try to work close to 12 hours. Just that way I don't have to worry about time the rest of the week.
Yeah. Good point. And you probably get a lot more done when nobody's there.
Yeah. It's a lot more peaceful.
You probably get a lot more of the podcast done without me here. Like the actual Bible study portion of it.
Probably. But then it wouldn't be as interesting.
It won't be as interesting?
Yeah.
Oh, so Mitchell gave me my he gave me my notes today, and as you can see, I don't know if you can see this or not, but it's red letters. And so I started singing when I got in here. So
that you did.
Yeah, I like that song. All right.
You gonna sing it now?
Nope.
Okay. Are we getting into the Bible study though?
Yeah, the red letters.
Okay.
That was
the
segue into the Bible study, the red letters, Matthew 5:17 through 20. You don't usually print this in color.
No, because I don't have a fancy printer at home. It only does black. But I printed those out last night. And then, like I said, Mondays I leave early. Well, I didn't grab them.
Oh, so you had to reprint them.
So I reprinted them. Well,
here?
Here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I got here early enough, and I just went back there and went ahead and printed them. And they have a fancy printer here at work.
They have a no, this is work. This is church. I did not start the timer, so you'll have to.
That's fine.
Keep an eye on it there.
Okay.
All right.
So, yes, we're starting a new section tonight. Like Michelle said, it's going to be Matthew 5:17 through 20. And we're going to take our time with this.
Okay.
Because, well, one, I really struggled with trying to figure this out. You know, this is something that you read over and over and over again, and you just kind of just glance over it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, whenever you actually start to dive into what this actually means, even commentators don't exactly know what this means.
Really?
So it's very hard to understand, but 17 is not bad. 18 was a struggle. So we're going to take our time on and make sure you guys understand this.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to do my best to hopefully make this make as much sense as possible.
Okay.
And hopefully have it right, because like I said, I read a lot of different commentators. I read more for this than I normally do because it was...
You were trying to figure it out yourself.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Anyways, so we're going to go ahead and read all of this. So it's Matthew 5:17-20. Do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot, will pass from the law until all is accomplished. Therefore, whoever relaxes one of the least of these commandments and teaches others to do the same will be called least in the kingdom of heaven. But whoever does them and teaches them will be called great in the kingdom of heaven. For I tell you, unless your righteousness exceeds that of the scribes and Pharisees, you will never enter the kingdom of heaven.
Hmm.
So let's go ahead and start with verse 17. Again, verse 17 is, do not think that I have come to abolish the law or the prophets. I have not come to abolish them, but to fulfill them.
Okay.
So one of the things that I always stumbled with this particular verse is I always read the law or the prophets as two separate things.
Okay.
Because
That's
you
how I
have
would have
the
read it.
law
Mm-hmm.
and then you have the prophets. And I've never understood what it meant by the prophets.
To abolish. He did not come to abolish the prophets, is what you're
Yes.
saying. Okay.
Like that never really made sense to me.
Yeah.
And instead of studying it, you just
read it and just go
keep
on.
going.
Yeah. You do that in some
Well,
things with the Bible.
yeah,
I mean, that's why we're
unfortunately.
studying it. That's why
Yeah,
we're having you study it for us and
sure.
tell us what your findings are.
So one of the big things that I learned once I started studying this is that you shouldn't be reading the law or the prophets separately, but together. And it isn't technically the law or the prophets, it's the law and the prophets is a proper translation.
Okay.
But this is just says or. So whenever we talk about the law, where do you learn what the law is, learn about the law? That you learn the law is first given to the Israelites in the Pentateuch, the Torah, the first
Mm.
5 books
Yes.
of
Yes.
the
Yes.
Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
And then something that this doesn't say but implies was the prophets. It's actually the writings of the prophets. So, the writing of the prophets, where do you find the writings of the prophets? In the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm.
So, these two together, the law and the prophets, is just the way of saying in that day, at that time, it's their way of hinting to what we now call the Old Testament.
The Old Testament.
But it wasn't the Old Testament back then. It was literally the law,
Law.
which was the Pentateuch,
Mm-hmm.
and then it was various writings of prophets, but they weren't yet put together into one big book like the Old Testament.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
They weren't the Old Testament yet at that time. So Jesus couldn't say, I didn't come to abolish the Old Testament
Right.
because there was no Old Testament.
Okay.
So
Now that's how we can look at it.
yes.
So we
Now,
understand it.
yes.
Okay.
So that is what is being implied is that this is basically referring to the Old Testament. So it says, do not think that I have come to abolish the Old Testament, the laws, the prophecies,
Mm-hmm.
everything that is in
The Old.
the Old
Yeah.
Testament.
Mm-hmm.
So he didn't come to abolish that.
He came to
He
fulfill it.
came to fulfill it. But another key thing that we need to learn or understand about this verse is two terms that are in here. The first one is fulfill,
Okay.
and then the other one is abolish.
Mm-hmm.
But to be more specific, it's how those two are working together. Because Jesus is saying he didn't come to abolish it, he came to fulfill it. Well, what does abolish actually mean? So if you're going to abolish something, you're going to nullify it, you're going to make it void, you're going
Mm-hmm.
to destroy it.
Right. Destroy it. That's how I look at it. Abolish. Destroy.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to make something void or destroy something, in order to prevent that, you wouldn't fulfill it. Those words don't match up.
Right. Right.
They're not in line with
No.
each other. So I think I have something good here in my notes that
You do?
maybe.
Oh.
Yes. So abolish would mean that it is destroyed or rendered null or void.
Mm-hmm.
So the opposite of that, this is what I was trying to find. So the opposite of abolish would be more like preserve or protect.
Okay.
So Jesus should be saying, I'm not here to abolish the Old Testament. I'm here to preserve the Old Testament, or I'm here to protect the Old Testament.
Okay, that would make sense.
So yeah, so these two words don't actually line up. But the way, well, I'm not going to get into the actual Greek here, but the Greek word used, or the word that is translated as fulfilled or fulfill, almost every place where that is used, it is talking about fulfilling Old Testament prophecy. So bringing that Old Testament prophecy into fulfillment.
Okay.
And in the case of Jesus, this Old Testament prophecy that is related to Jesus is messianic prophecy. It's prophecy about the Messiah and the future coming of the Messiah. So Jesus is just saying here, with the words that he chooses to use, is he didn't come to destroy the Old Testament. He didn't come to make the Old Testament null or void. He has come to fulfill the prophecies in that Old Testament and to basically prove that he is Messiah. So that's what this first I can't talk. That is what verse 17 is trying to tell us.
Okay.
So as we get into verse 18, this is the one that I really struggled with so let's go ahead and read it. For truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away, not an iota, not a dot, will pass from the law until all is accomplished.
Yeah, I would just read over that.
So the reason this is so complicated is because there are two until statements in one sentence. It's until heaven and earth pass away, and then again we have until all is accomplished. But they're in the same sentence.
Yeah.
So, and like I said, I struggled with this.
I see.
And so I forget what morning it was.
Well, today's Monday.
Yeah.
It's not Thursday.
But I think it was last Thursday.
Okay.
When I had my last appointment.
Friday.
Okay. So it was Friday morning. So I had to fast. So food was on my mind. Because when you have to fast and then you're driving.
Rachel likes food.
I do like food. And then you're driving an hour to go to the doctor.
And your belly's growling.
Yeah, you're thinking of every place you could stop to get food between here and there. So I was thinking about food. Well, for some reason that turned into an alternative for this, which it did help me make sense of it.
Okay. All right.
So I think it was godly inspired.
You were supposed to go to that appointment so that way you could work on this passage.
I would have rather ate. But
well,
that's okay. So this is my version to help make sense of this. So I tell you the truth, until the dinner party is over, not a crumb or droplet will be consumed until everybody is finished. Everybody has finished. See, that still doesn't make sense by itself.
No. You have to read that again. I don't even know where this is at on my paper.
It's right.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
You didn't write it all out. It's on this paper. We're right here. So that's why I'm trying to. Okay, so you didn't write it all out for me. That's why I'm like, wait, where is all this?
Oh,
Okay. Read it again. Oh, right there it is. Okay. Woo!
I tell you the truth, until the dinner party is over, not a crumb or droplet will be consumed until everybody has finished. Yeah, it's still a mind bender, right?
Yeah.
But you have to look at it. I mean, so let's
Okay.
pare down
Yep.
my version of this. So let's start with the first until and not statement. So it says until the dinner party, what is it?
It's over.
Until the dinner party is over,
Until the dinner.
not a crumb or droplet will be consumed. So this is saying that
That makes no sense to
basically,
me.
well, nobody is going to eat at the dinner party until the dinner party is over, and then everybody's going to eat.
But why would you eat after the party?
Don't blame me. I'm going off of what Jesus said, okay?
All right. Okay. I'm listening.
So, yes, it's confusing.
It
It's
is
like,
so confusing.
why would nobody eat until after the party? It doesn't make sense.
No.
But then you bring in the last until statement, which again, mine is until everybody is finished. So now this becomes a statement about the fact that there is a dinner party. So that's just, okay, there's a dinner party.
Oh, there's a dinner party. Mind you, I've not had dinner yet. So my belly starts growling. Okay.
So this is very appropriate.
Right.
So the fact that there is a dinner party.
Okay.
And everybody is going to eat at the dinner party.
Yes.
So.
But we can't eat anything yet.
Well.
Until everybody's finished.
So there is a dinner party where everybody is going to eat.
Yes.
And the party won't end until everybody has eaten.
Okay.
But at the same time, nobody will even taste the food or taste the drink. So no crumb or droplet will be consumed until everybody consumes it together.
Okay.
So bringing in that last until statement, it's just like, well, so the first until statement is there is a dinner party.
Mm-hmm.
The last one is saying nobody is going to
be alone.
Well, everybody. See, now I'm confusing myself again. So the last until statement is everybody's going to eat.
Okay.
So you have the start of the dinner party, you have the end of the dinner party. Well, nobody is going to basically be able to sample the food and the drink until it's a time for the dinner party. Then everybody's going to be able to eat and drink together at the dinner party.
Okay.
And then once the dinner party, everybody is done eating, then the dinner party is finished. Does that make any sense? Like I said, this is very challenging.
Very challenging.
So
let's go back to,
so let's go back to the original.
Yes.
So this says, for truly I say to you, which also this is the first time this little statement, we see that a lot. You know, truly I say to you, or truly, truly I say to you, or something along those lines. This is the first time that phrase is being used, and it will be used many, many times throughout the rest of the Gospels. But anyways, for truly I say to you, until heaven and earth pass away. So we know that there is a heaven and an earth.
Mm-hmm.
So going off my little example,
we know there's a dinner party.
We know there's a dinner party. So we know there's heaven. We know there's an earth. Mm-hmm. And it is alive. It is healthy. It is thriving. Mm-hmm. So then the next statement is, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law. An iota and a dot, those are just small little punctuation marks that they used in Hebrew writing. For us today, it'd be like, you gotta make sure you dot your I's, cross your T's. Mm-hmm. It'd be something along that. Okay. Just be like your period, your comma, just making sure everything is there. So by Jesus saying that not a dot or an iota will pass from the law. That threw me off. So by saying that not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law, it just means the law won't change.
The law's not going
The
to
law
change.
is going to stay exactly the way it is,
Okay.
and it is just going to be the way it is.
Okay.
You know, Jesus didn't come here to change the law.
Mm-mm.
Now, granted, as Christians, we don't view the law in the same way. We don't interpret the law the same way
Okay.
because since Jesus has came,
We
he
live in
kind
a
of, yeah, we live in a different covenant. We don't, we're not living under the covenant of law. We're
Mhm.
living under the covenant
Like
of grace.
grace. Yeah.
So the law is still there.
Mm-hmm.
We can still learn from the law,
Mm-hmm.
but we're not under that law.
Right.
So the law hasn't changed.
Right.
It's just we're not meant to follow that law as Christians. So, not an iota, not a dot will pass from the law until all is accomplished. What does that mean? Till all of what is accomplished.
Oh.
And we don't have any good information as far as what this actually means.
Okay.
So my theory, my thought, mine.
This is Mitchell's.
So I'm no scholar
Mm-mm.
or anything.
No, you're not.
So my best guess that I have is, so we know Jesus was here.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus fulfilled a lot of prophecy.
He did.
But Jesus didn't fulfill all the prophecies. I mean, the big one, especially in relation to Jesus, is that he's coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Jesus hasn't came back
No.
yet. So that alone says that not all is finished.
Right.
There is still more that needs to be completed.
Mm-hmm.
So though Jesus fulfilled a lot of prophecy at his first coming, there's still going to be a second coming.
Mm-hmm.
But the Bible also tells us that whenever Jesus comes again, there's going to be a millennial kingdom where heaven comes down to earth.
Right, right.
So we know that's going to happen. That hasn't happened yet.
No.
So not all is finished. So we got to go out past that millennial kingdom before we can even get to all is finished.
Mm-hmm.
Now, once we get to that point, now there's a lot of other unknowns in there,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not going to be till after that millennial kingdom, at least, before all prophecy is fulfilled.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once every single prophecy in the Bible is fulfilled, then that's when we go back to the beginning and heaven and earth will pass away.
Mm.
But this isn't saying, like, we know that heaven is eternal.
Right, right. Yep.
And we're not necessarily saying that the earth is going to just all of a sudden
Go away.
implode.
Yeah.
But, like I said, whenever we get to that millennial kingdom, heaven is going to come down to earth.
Mm-hmm.
Well, at the end of the millennial kingdom, I don't know, I'm speculating, but it's very possible heaven is going to go back up into heaven.
Mm-hmm.
And there will no longer be heaven on earth. Therefore, heaven and earth, or heaven on earth, will pass away.
Mm-hmm.
And then we're getting to more of this end times. And at that point, if heaven and earth do pass away, because all is finished, then the law will then become null and void at that point.
Yeah.
Because it's been fulfilled.
Mm-hmm. It's all been fulfilled.
That's my thinking.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's right.
Sounds good, but yeah.
It sounds good.
Yeah.
But take it with a grain of salt.
Right.
Do your own study.
Mm.
Test me. And if you have any other ideas, if you find something else that I missed, send us a
Yeah, reach out to him.
yeah.
Not
Send
to us,
an
to him.
email. Send them Michelle first. She likes to read all that stuff.
Oh, love it. Love it.
But yeah, leave a comment.
Yeah.
Send us an email.
Tell us
something.
what you think. Absolutely.
I mean, I'm not saying I have this right.
We'd
and
love
I would
to hear.
love to hear
Yeah.
other opinions and ideas.
Yeah.
about how this actually, or other ideas of how this could work. But this is kind of what the Lord showed me, and this is, like you said, it kind of makes sense.
It kind of does. Yeah.
So,
well, thanks for a great explanation.
Well, hopefully.
I like Mitchell's view, but again, like you said, if you've got another view, send it to him because he loves to look at that stuff.
You can send them to her.
No, don't. Okay, so we thank you. We thank you for joining us. Please leave a comment on this video or go to our contact page at purefaithliving.com to send us a message. And as always, if you like what you hear, then we ask that you share this show with others so we can all spread the good word of Jesus Christ. Don't forget to subscribe, and we will talk to you again next time.
Have a blessed day, everybody.